Hello everyone, it's Catherine here with Inky Finger Cat. I am here with a scrapbook page process video. I'm showing you here that this kit I got from Hey Little Magpie. I've already made one page from it, which I did a little while ago. And this is the scraps that are left over. I just popped them in a little baggie and I've just pulled them out and thought, right, today's the day to use them. I've chosen to scrap a black and white picture because I think it works quite well with this sort of like vintagey colour, the sort of linen-y colour and the black and white elements. And it's a picture of my daughter on her 18th birthday. We went to a restaurant in Manchester called Sexy Fish. Apparently there's a couple of others around the world, but very expensive. Very, very nice food, sort of Asian inspired. So we had a bit of sushi. Actually, now I can't remember what the heck we ate, but it was all delicious anyway. We had a fabulous meal, and it was a fun evening, but the whole place is just so amazing in the way that it looks. So actually these are black and white. This is a black and white picture because there's so much going on in the background and I just wanted it to focus on Maya. And plus it just helps with scrapping sometimes to do the odd black and white one. So I've pulled out all the pieces and now I'm using some black cardstock. I've matted the card with, matted the photo with the black, and now I'm using some of that black to die cut some of the Hey Little Magpie border dies that I've got that I really love. You're probably going to see them on every layout from now on because I just love them so much. And I've seen that there's some more that I'm like, oh, I really like that one too. Oops. It's a good job I don't see Sarah that often, and it's only every few months that I go to a crop and then I spend a fortune. Obviously you can absolutely buy them all online. I'm just trying my hardest to not press the button and buy anything at the moment. Hey ho. So anyway, I've pulled some of those out and now I've decided, right, I'm going to go in mixed media. Now I know vaguely what I'm doing, which is two main cards with a photo in the middle and then some strips. I'm going to go in and start adding some ink. I decided to use the stencil, which I hadn't realised I clearly had not cleaned very well. So I've used it with, I think it's antique linen, something like that. I can't remember exactly the colour of it. But it's really not that linen-y. It's got greens and blues in it now, but never mind. And then I'm using the packaging technique with weathered wood just to add a little bit more around. In the end, you don't see so much of this because, as usual, when I do these things, I then end up making the cluster bigger than I think. So this is slightly more centralised, and so you don't see most of it, but you see enough to be able to get a sense of there's something going on in the background that just sort of like grounds the cluster. I did do a little bit of splatter as well, again with the weathered wood, so it's quite subtle, it's nothing stark, but I quite like that. I think it works well with these particular papers. I think the papers are from American Crafts originally, but it was a page kit that Sarah had put together at Hey Little Magpie that I bought. I bought it specifically for the other page that I did to do the picture of my great nephew and myself having some cuddles. That was what I had in mind when I saw the kit. I went, oh, that'll be perfect for Henry's picture. So I did that specifically for that, and it was quite a slim, there wasn't a huge amount in the page kit. I mean, they are designed just for one page, so I had to sort of like gut some pieces to make sure that I'd got enough left over that I'd be able to do something else with, because I like to get the most out of what I buy, and if I can make it go for 2 or 3 pages, then I'm really, really happy. This one's definitely only going to be a 2, there is very little left now. Teeny little scraps that, to be honest, I'm just going to probably use up on something else. I'm not even going to bother keeping them together. They're going to go into my bits and bobs box, I think. So I have loosely stuck together the cluster, and now I'm going to start putting some strips along the backs of the page. I'm cutting some of those border dies in half because I know that they're going to be hidden underneath most of it, and so just stretches them. They also weren't the full length because I didn't have a piece of cardstock that was the right length to go through my die cutting machine, but that's fine, it works. So I am literally just using little strips, doing little bits of what's it called, distressing the edges to stick them down, and then I just keep coming in and bringing that cluster back in to see where it fits. I've decided I want that flower there, so that's definitely going to stick there. And now it's, where do I want to put the other bits and pieces? I'm having a moment and thinking that there was a little strip with hearts on it, and I don't even remember sticking it on now. And I can't see it on the final thing. Oh well, never mind. It'll turn up at some point on another piece. But yeah, so keeping it straight, and I've now stuck it into place. I'm just sticking the edge of those little borders that are a little bit flimsy. And now I'm adding in more of those little border bits. I do end up covering quite a few of them anyway. And yeah, just adding little bits and pieces around just to kind of keep the horizontal line going, as well as keeping that central cluster. Now, I'm going to have a little bit of a think here about what I want to do in terms of journaling strips. So I cut a few bits and pieces apart, and then I end up taking this sort of like striped tag bit and just cutting all the tag bits off and adding in a mat for that. And I'm going to stick that underneath the photo for somewhere for me to journal. Now, at this point, I'm still not entirely sure what I want to do, but I've decided on my title, and so now I'm going to go off and hunt through various bits and pieces to find something to complete my title. But I knew that the first thing I wanted to do, and this is always nerve-wracking, stamping in black directly onto a layout that's already been stuck down. But I wanted to use that beautiful word that's in the Simon Says Stamp Beautiful Flowers stamp set. Love this. And I used that stamp set as well on the other page that I did from this kit. I also, so I found enough letters to get hour, and now I'm just trying and hunting off screen, finding enough letters to find the word girl. And they are a bit wonky, these letters in terms of sizes, but I'm all right with it because they are at least all the same finish on the font. So at this point, I'm looking at it and thinking I want something more. So I decided to bring out that loved stamp, and but this time stamp it in weathered wood so it becomes more of the background. I'm umming and ahhing about a third place to put it and decide not to. And now I'm deciding, right, actually, I want to use those flowers that are in that stamp set because they're just so beautiful. And I think it would work really well with just a plain black stamped line art image. So I've pulled out some white cardstock. It's quite a flimsy cardstock, so it's not too thick. And I'm just going to stamp them with VersaFine, sorry. And then I flip it round and stamp another 3 just in case. And I'll use them on something else in the future, so it's not like it'll go to waste. And then I'm going to sit and fussy cut the 3 flowers out. But it's always handy if you stamp extras, because if, for example, you mess one up, or it doesn't quite work, you've got those extras already sitting there ready. So fussy cutting, which I know is not everybody's jam, but I don't mind it. It's kind of relaxing whilst I'm doing it, as long as I don't do too many in one go. Otherwise, obviously, your hand starts to cramp. But yeah, I don't mind doing fussy cutting. There are dies apparently that go with that stamp set, but I don't have them. I only got the stamp set because I got a voucher for Simon Says Stamp in a competition I won. And that meant I could finally buy this stamp set that I've been wanting forever, which I couldn't justify because of the cost of the postage from America. Whereas this time, well, the cost of the postage was what the stamp set had cost. And now I'm just adding in some journaling. I've added the date on for 14th of March, which was her birthday, and then a little bit about where we were and why we were there. It was her birthday. And then I've got these sort of silvery gems. They're kind of, what are they called? Like, they're like enamel accents, but yeah, that kind of thing. And then I had this moment where I thought that little bit to the left of the photograph just looks a little bit bare. So I decided to do a teensy bit of sewing, just a little bit. I also think the sewing means something to me because my daughter did textiles at university, no, for A levels, and so I always try to add a little bit of sewing something in her kind of honour, I suppose. It just sewing means something to me with Maya, so yeah, just a little bit of sewing, just 3 crosses, and then I just on the back tie it off, and then just add a little bit of washi tape over to just keep it firm, and that's it, it's done. So I hope you enjoyed. Absolutely dealing with scraps there, and just a little bit of added in stamping for those flowers, which I think work perfectly with the page. So please do give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed, comment below, and subscribe. Until next time, goodbye.